You ready for this?
I'm born ready.
I definitely know that's not true.
It's definitely not going in the episode.
It definitely is now. Guess who's editing this?
Buyer's remorse.
Hello, and welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Justin.
I'm Darren.
Here we are. It is our yearly wrap-up episode where we discuss the year as a whole, talk a little bit about plans for the future, and mostly just thank you for joining us on this podcast and conversational journey. And journey through our horrible, horrible Steam libraries. No, the horrible parts of the Steam library. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, the horrible parts. It's not all bad, but yeah, it's mostly bad.
One thing I would like to do before we get into our wrap-up where we go through what we played this year, as far as playing for the podcast, is I would like to talk just a little bit about maybe a few games we played this year that we enjoyed, because we often are trying to give each other the worst games here, but I would like to talk about a few games that we really enjoyed this year. Probably ones that we don't talk about for a podcast. And I would like to start off with Doom Eternal. This was the year where I finally got it, finally played it. It has its problems. Mm-hmm. Primarily for me, anything having to do with platform jumping, because much like the gunplay, they turn the platforming up to like not even 11 but 12, where you have to swing on a bar and then turbo boost across and try to grab a floating platform, and as soon as you do, it starts to fall and you have to get to the next platform. I was so close so many times. They even tried to help you out by when you grab a wall, you get a little boost. But if you're not within boosting range, you're just out of luck. I think for me, Doom 2016 is the best, but it was still a lot of fun to play Doom Eternal, and I really enjoyed it. I would probably play it again, but I would play it again not trying to do everything.
Mm-hmm. I played a game that was kind of similar to Doom, like old school Doom, was called, I don't know how you pronounce it, Prodeus or Prodeus, I'm not sure. It's a new game, but it's like a retro style pixel Doom graphics kind of game. That was a lot of fun. I'm not usually into those kind of games, but I finished it and it was great.
I played through Mortal Kombat 11.
So did I.
I know. The story fixes some things, and in some ways is kind of the same disappointment to me. I think mostly that is focusing a lot on the younger generation, which I do not care about, and focusing on Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, who are just personally not my favorite.
I mean, weren't you supposed to hate them in the originals anyway? I've only ever played like Mortal Kombat like 1, 2, and 3, and then I jumped to 11, so I don't know anything what happened in the middle. But it's like, isn't this guy the asshole? Like,
yes. I mean, he's very arrogant and stuff, but Are
they trying to do the redemption arc or something? They try to make him out to be the good guy.
No, I don't think in the original. I think you were only really supposed to hate Shang Tsung, I think.
He's my favorite character.
Maybe Goro, because when you got to the boss area, it was Goro first, and then you had to fight Shang Tsung. I personally just don't like Johnny Cage. I never have. I think part of that is an effect of the movie.
The only thing I know about the Mortal Kombat movie is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is banging.
And you've still never watched it?
No, never seen it. I own the CD of the soundtrack, but I've never seen the film.
I can't believe you never watched it. Okay, well, add this to something Darren needs to do in 2023. Yeah. I hate the crypt. I really like exploring the crypt in MK11, but what I hate was just how much everything costs and the randomness.
Very grindy.
And it gets incredibly grindy. I like that you get to choose your special powers. There's some, like Rain in particular, that irritated me because his 2 classic powers both cost 2 points each, and you only get 3, so you can only choose one of the 2 classics. But it adds the variety and customizability that I think they were trying to do with older MK games, where they would have 2 different styles of fighting for each character, but I did not like that at all.
Right.
This one works pretty well. This, again, is 2D, which works so much better as MK. I didn't really like anything where they tried to make it 3D. Plus, I mean, we both, I think, got the full package MK, which is what I wanted. And you can play Terminator versus RoboCop.
Yep, Rambo versus Shang Tsung. Yeah, it's great. And it looks great. It looks amazing, actually. Not even look great. It looks great. The animations in that game are phenomenal, man. Amazing. Like, so uber violent. It's crazy.
So I have a lot of nitpicky things about it, but overall, I played it for a lot of time, and that's because I liked it. It was fun to get back into.
I played it for a lot of time because I was stuck on that stupid last boss level. To replay about 50 times, even on easy, I couldn't beat her.
Yeah, I did, but as I typically do with MK bosses, as cheaply as possible.
Sweep the leg, sweep the leg, sweep the leg, sweep the leg.
For me, it's more about blocking and uppercutting.
Right, yeah.
Just get it at the right time.
For those of you just joining now, we're not actually discussing Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah, we were.
This isn't an episode on Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Do you have another one?
Games that I liked, I'd have to look at my list, man. I'm sad to say that one of my remorses this year that wasn't on the podcast, just my own personal remorse, was Somerville, which was the new game from the developers of Inside and Limbo. The guys split and they made two teams. One was called Dropship. The other one was called, I can't remember what the name of the studio was, but they made two studios. And I was like, great, we'll get double the games that I like. Because I love Inside and Limbo. And this game, Somerville, was hyped for like 3 years, man. And just wasn't that great. It wasn't that good, man. I was very disappointed. And I jumped in, full price, boom, day one.
But yeah, if it had been good, I think we would have jumped on it for the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But it was just a shame. It wasn't bad, but it's kind of hard to top Inside, because Inside to me is almost a perfect game in that genre.
I have mine as well. Mine would probably be Soulstorm.
We were looking forward to that. I know you were looking forward to that way more than I was.
For decades.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's bad.
No.
It's kind of like you. It was just not everything I hoped it would be. In the beginning, it is pretty good. There are some things, though, like where it tells me a sort of grade at the end of each level, which we both hate. Did you find everything? No, you found
Loser.
2 out of 5 things. Why didn't you find all of them?
What a moron you are.
And the puzzle elements I've enjoyed, but there are some timed puzzles that I do not like. A sort of boss fighting at times that I did not like, and I've yet to finish it. And
you still haven't finished it.
I still haven't finished it. I jumped in pretty early on that one, at least early as it came to Steam, and I enjoyed it for a while, and I had a huge smile on my face when I first started, but there just came a point, and here's the biggest thing that I think is that in the original games, it felt like you could save everyone.
Yes.
And you did that through puzzle solving, but I think I've hit the 3rd time in the game where there is a ton of Mudokons, the ones we're trying to save, escaping in the background while enemies pop out and start shooting at them. And it seems almost impossible to save everyone. And so when you start seeing them dying 10, 20, it's really heart-wrenching for me. Back when every life felt super important, to get to this point where it's just try to keep your karma positive. I will finish it, but at this point, I've put it away for a few months. I may have to start over and get a feel for it again. But I think that there's just going to come a point where I'm just going to have to give up and say, I'm going to try to keep just enough alive so that I don't go into the negative.
Right.
But even that seems tricky. It is a good game. I'm not going to say that. I think it's me coming into it with expectations from the old games that's maybe a bit unfair.
Yeah, sure.
But now I think it's probably time we talk about our year in Buyer's Remorse. So going back through our year, and how do you feel about the game? Did you go back? Did you finish? I know if you've listened to our Gaps wrap-up, you're going to know that he hasn't finished a lot of games anyway. So I'm curious about this list. I think it's going to be pretty low. Let's start with the beginning.
Yep.
Peekaboo. Did you play it again?
I played it again. They've updated it since. I mean, that's not a game you can finish. Yeah, Peekaboo's a lot of fun. I like it. I even put Prop Night on my wish list, which is a more graphically updated version of Peekaboo. but it's not had great reviews, so I've not got into it. So I did go back to Peekaboo and play it a few more times. Yeah, I quite like that game.
There's poop in my soup.
Oh yeah, no, I have not gone back to play. Even Chloe's not gone back to play that. Even my daughter's not gone back for that one. No.
And she loves those.
Yep.
Morphine?
No, God, that was terrible. Morphine's bad. But the band is good, but the game sucks.
Mastema? Escape from Hell?
That was terrible, that game. It wasn't terrible, it was just so hard. It was terrible because it was so difficult. If you're better than I am, if you're better at platforming than I am, then you might enjoy it. But that was a good old kind of old school Ghosts and Goblins kind of game in modern times. It's just a shame about the jump mechanics. No, haven't gone back.
Slenderman, The Arrival?
God, no. God, that was terrible, that game.
It was very fun to watch you suffer, though.
Awful game. I got so much shit for that on Steam. I made a review of it. It's like, I don't really negatively review games that much, but I felt like it's $10 for this, and it's garbage. And man, the amount of 10-year-old hate I got on that, man. Like, this is the best game I ever bought. And people were like, this is my childhood. Or, yeah, I just ruined a lot of people's like moods that day. I'm still getting hate mail for it.
Today is my birthday. Haven't
gone back to it. But looking back, it's not that bad. Once you figure out how the save menu works, I don't have to do everything from the very beginning every time I die and watch the cutscene all over again. Like, once you realize it's like, oh yeah, you can go back to your game in the menu. Okay, yeah.
Doggle Rocks?
I went back and I played that again for the stream just because I thought people would like to watch it. It's only an hour and it's harmless fun. Yeah.
Journal? No,
I haven't finished that yet. A little bit too slow. I have not been in the mood for something that takes too much time and too much reading. I don't have time to read, man.
You're doing enough reading as it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Amputee?
God, oh, no. Oh my God, I might drop dead if I played that game again nowadays with all the stress I'm under. I don't need more stress in my life.
What a shame. System Shock?
No, I still haven't gone back. It's still, usually when I don't play a game, I'm very, very particular about my library. It's like as soon as I finish a game, it gets deleted. Or as soon as I don't like a game, it gets deleted.
You don't mean deleted off your library.
Uninstalled.
Yeah,
uninstalled. But System Shock is still installed. And it's like a game that I do intend to go back to. I've just never had the time to. It's not as good as System Shock 2, but it will get finished.
Well, speaking of slow games, Treasure Hunter Simulator?
You know what? For the episode, I realized, my file of the game, I didn't save it. So I had to play it again. I had to play that stupid game again.
It's happened to me a number of times where the video, something's wrong with it.
So if it was like a good game, at least I'd be all right. But, and I had to go back and like make all the same mistakes that I'd made for the podcast. You know, like, there's this bit where you clip through this and it's really dumb. So I had to go and make that happen again for the video. That was worse than playing it for the first time.
That's incredible dedication on your part. I'm on observation duty?
No, I finished it. Oh, I didn't finish the new house. No, that was a good game. I like that, but no, I haven't been back to it. I should go back and finish the new house.
Have you wish listed 2, 3, 4, I think 5 they're up to?
Yep. I'm hoping that I can pick up the bundle for cheap on the winter sale. Oh God, what's next?
Roar with 2 exclamation marks.
That's another one I had to play again. I realized, I only streamed that. I didn't hit record. And so I was looking for it. I was like, please have the file. I'm looking at it in my usual folder. It's not there. Okay, it might be in my folder, in the video file, you know?
Yeah.
It's not there. Maybe it's in my Twitch folder. It's not there. Okay, I'll type it in manually and search for it. Nothing's there. Like, only the audio for the episode is there. Like, oh my God, I gotta play this game again. Oh.
It's funny you say that because I didn't know that. But I was watching that going, you seem to be much more competent.
Yeah, I knew what I was doing. Yeah, that's why, because I had to record the whole thing again.
Because that was one of the few times where I was able to catch the stream as you were doing it and was just enjoying how bad the game seemed. Even though it didn't look that bad control-wise, but on your end, you said the controls were bad.
It's awful. The camera, it's not a terrible game, but just the camera is so frustrating because it's so, you move the mouse like 1 centimeter and you're like, phew, you're off on like a 120-degree angle turn. It's just so twitchy. Terrible.
That was your year. Because there are others we recorded, but
Haven't come out yet.
they haven't come out yet. I was about to do a spoiler for one that's coming out.
Well, maybe we can cut it out. What was the next one?
Well, the next one is Uriel's Chasm.
Oh, that's a good one as well. Because that is both a terrible game and an awesome game at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh man, quality games on your list. Absolute boss games. Judge Dredd versus Death.
It should be. I've seen you play it. I know how much you love it. I think in its day it was a good game. I think now it's hindered a lot by its limitations of when it was made and some of just the design choices as well. But it's just a tough game for me to play with the controls the way they are. I would play it again. I think, though, I would more just enjoy watching you play it again because it's easier to watch you play than for me to figure it out.
Yeah, I streamed it one day and someone was watching it, and then after they're like, "Oh man, I just bought this game because as you were playing it." It's like, yeah, it's a good game. I think it's aged well, but yeah, maybe.
I think the best parts come later.
Yeah. Once you start dealing with the judges and stuff like that, like Judge Death, like the Apocalypse judges, it's good times. Oh, FTL. Did you play that? Yeah, that's right. Have you gone back to that? That's a big game.
No, I lose interest in those kind of games pretty quickly. It was fun to play for an hour. Like, it was okay, but I just don't really see me struggling on because I guess there is an endpoint.
You have to, and that's the thing, you have to like invest a lot of time, don't you? You got to learn a bunch of stuff.
And then you have to earn new ships so that you can get better. And as you're going through, it's a lot of random encounters, so you don't know exactly what you're going to get. I just lose interest in that kind of game pretty quickly. I think it's good for what it is. It's just not something that grabbed my attention.
Yeah, because people go gangbusters about that game. They love it.
At the same time, I believe they're also the ones that made Into the Breach, and I think I have that one. It's definitely something I want to try. It's a little bit different. So again, I think that they know what they're doing. It's just they're making games that are maybe not my style.
Deus Ex Invisible War.
No, I'm not going to find that thing. Though I had a lot of fun working with the video for that one. But no. No. I believe, isn't that the one with the basketball that would just bounce straight off? Yeah. I enjoyed making the video for that one, and I enjoyed it because it was bad.
Yeah.
But I had zero interest in continuing on. It's another one where I'd probably watch somebody speedrun it. That would be great. But I wouldn't even want to watch a full playthrough of it.
It's universally panned as the worst Deus Ex game. Have you played the original?
I don't remember.
No. The original's great. At least I like it. But it's just more System Shock, but with different characters.
Yeah.
So the moment of silence, how about that one?
I mean, pulling the curtain aside here for the listeners, I didn't even remember that one. It was that bad. We had to just look it up because I was afraid that I confused that one with one of the earlier games. No. I think Moment of Silence is from the same company that made 13 Days.
They made The Mystery of the Druids, 15 Days, yes,
yeah,
and Overclocked, A History of Violence, none of which I thankfully own.
I think I own all of them, or at least 3 of them. Bad.
Yeah.
All I remember is bad. And it was so bad that I think my brain has pushed a lot of it aside. And that's saying something because that's within this year. I had to play it, I had to talk about it, and then I also had to make a video for it.
Yeah.
So
completely forgettable.
I think I remember now. I think this is the awful point and click one where they were in New York and talking about the modern team versus the classic team because sports are now all virtual. And he had to walk across the street to get into a cab, but I couldn't go anywhere because I didn't have the GPS coordinates.
Sounds fantastic.
And he just complains about his apartment the whole time, even though it's like way better than my real life apartment. I'm pretty sure that's the one.
God, sounds like I got a win there then, yeah. Cairo?
No. I mean...
Did you finish it? No.
Definitely not, no. Definitely interesting. Some good puzzle elements in there, but ultimately just confusing. And I didn't really know what I was doing, and I really wasn't sure if I was progressing much of the hour that I played. That just kind of stops me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very objective focused. If I don't have an objective, a clear objective, then I lose interest pretty quickly. And that's the case with Cairo.
Arcade Moonlander. I remember this one. This was the one that Greg put us onto, like, hey, this is a free game, and I picked it up. You picked it up, and as soon as you picked it up, I was like, right, play that, Justin, because I don't want to play it.
This was very similar to a game you played growing up called Thrust, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to believe this. I finished it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's something about that one where it was just such short play, and I could hop in and out of it so quickly that I would play it. It was stressful. Definitely stressful, but I did finally get all the way through.
Wow. Was it an amazing cutscene at the end?
I don't think so. No. I'd say as well, there are other modes. I did not do those. I tried them, but I was done.
Endless mode.
I think the fact that it had a very limited number of levels as well, I think it was like 30.
Okay.
That made it seem achievable. If it had been 100, I don't think that I would have done it.
Yeah. Oh, good game, this one. Rock of Ages 3. Have you finished that yet?
Yeah, that was a softball. Oh, yeah.
That was a softball, yeah.
And in fact, while making the video, I realized that I didn't have much footage of the Humpty Dumpty levels, and we talked about them for a while, so I went back in to record that, and I actually beat all the Humpty Dumpty levels.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I still haven't done. My daughter beat them, but I haven't.
I would not have if it hadn't been for me needing to go back in for the video, so that was a very lucky circumstance there.
That's a great game, man. That team that makes like 1, 2, and 3, just... I mean, how can you make a game about rolling a ball down a hill, hitting a door, that much fun? You got no business making it that much fun, man.
But it's great, and I will probably be a semi-early adopter to Rock of Ages 4 if it should come out.
If it comes out. I'm sure you feel the same way about the next game, Banana Hell.
No, I have not touched that again, though I think that was one I had to play again for the video because there's something really wrong with the video.
Right.
So I had to redo that part again. And trying to get to... There was these semi-built-in checkpoint in the first forest level where it was a struggle to get back to that again. To try to get to that for the video was really heartbreaking. But I did it. So there you go.
The next one is a game I kept on calling the Moon Silver, but it's not Moon Silver. It's the Moon Sliver. I like this developer. He makes kind of old-style PS1 graphic games. Did you go back and finish it? Because I know it was quite tough. You're having problems with it, but I think you enjoyed it in a way.
I enjoyed it in a way. This is one where it's just a lot of text that's really hard to read because if it's over a fire or something, it's really hard to read. There's no characters. I didn't know what I was doing. It kept saying, come back when it's nighttime. But even when it was nighttime, it's like, it's not nighttime enough. Come back again later. It was kind of weird. I feel like if I got into that door, that might have made a huge difference. But it was like looking at 8 of the same shack, and that wasn't great. And the story, it's like, put it together, but yeah, there are 4 characters. You could put it together, I think, but it felt to me like the story equivalent of a logic puzzle. Here are these things, something's missing, you need to figure out what's missing from the story. And I would rather hear your interpretation of it than probably actually play it myself.
Right. Because I think I will go back and play, because I really enjoyed it, and I think I got to the same point as you. I was like, it is nighttime. Oh, when is the real nighttime? Yeah, I couldn't get in that door, and I eventually just gave up because I'd been all over that island, man. I'd looked at everything. I got into the church, done the whole shebang, and just couldn't do it. Next game though, obvious game of the year, Dear Esther.
The granddaddy of all walking sims.
Yep.
And the one that made you say that you will never recommend a walking sim to me again.
Yeah, that's right.
I did not enjoy it. I found it incredibly boring. And it didn't feel like a game. So no, I finished it even for... I think it took me an hour and 15, but I finished it even before that episode. And no, I've not gone back again. And no, I don't see myself going back again without purpose.
I don't know if you can say this without... we're not monetized anyway. I was going to say without getting demonetized. Omicron.
Oh. Stupid game.
Was it that bad?
I'm sure that it probably gets better if you understand where you're going. But remember, I got lost for that one.
What was I don't even remember what that game was about. What
that was the one that has the David Bowie song and
oh yeah,
where I jump in to a different character. He's going to jump into our world. I get to jump into his body and his world and take over, but take care of my body. Why are you sending me in there? Why don't you just do it then? And they tried to come up with all sorts of garbage reasons for like, oh, you need to pay attention to your actions because they have weight and you can't go back on them. Basically saying like, don't save scum.
Oh, right, yeah.
And just the world is just a boring brown world with giant skyscrapers that you can't see until you walk closer. Like the whole world is a fog of war, basically.
Right.
It's just a confusing mess. I'm sure people who love that game love it. They know what they're doing. For me, I just felt lost for an hour and I didn't enjoy it.
Fair enough. Orbis? Is that how you'd say it? Orbis?
I guess. It's the fun little game where you're running around destroying zombies on tiny planets and you move, and by you running around, basically the planet moves under you. Mm-hmm. So you always stay in the center of the screen. Yeah, it was okay, but not fun for me to go back again.
Right.
The whole second level seems to be nothing but TNT everywhere, and I just blow myself up, so I don't feel like doing that. It's a party game. It's meant to be played with more than one person.
Right. Yeah. And then the game that you're going to close the year with is Alien Spidey.
Yeah. Well, this will come out after that, so I can say it was okay, but it's not my kind of game. And some of the controls make it so that I do not want to go back. I don't see myself finishing that one. I mean, I recommend you to do it just because it'll be torture for you.
God,
but
no.
But that's been our year. Yep. It's been quite a year. We already have first few recorded, and dear listeners, my friend has given me a list that's long enough for about 2 years, and he keeps adding to it as well.
And this one, yeah.
So he went from, I believe last year, saying, oh, you've got to get some worse games. There's nothing to choose from. And the stuff on my list is not stuff that I've added. It's not like I suddenly went and, oh yeah, I'm going to add a bunch of these for Darren to pick from. He just really, I think, went through my library recently and said, here's a list. So even if we just go as far as that list, we've got at least 2 more years planned. And I think I've found maybe 10 for him. So he's set for most of the year as well. So we definitely have a long road ahead of us.
Yeah. A long, oh God, the road is paved with bad games.
He knows. I've got some good ones in there, I think.
Yeah, you do, man. You've got some great ones in there. I'm looking at it and going, oh no, I knew I had that. I'm going to start going through my Steam library saying, hey, please just eternally delete these games from my list so that Justin can't make me play them.
That'd be pretty hardcore. With that, though, just a note of thanks. Thank you all for listening and joining in on our joys and, of course, our miseries, which I think are probably the more entertaining.
Yeah.
Spread the word if you enjoy the podcast and you think anyone you know would enjoy it as well. And with that, I would just say Happy New Year.
Yep. And if you want to watch it in real time on Thursdays, I stream Buyer's Remorse on Twitch, but it's under the Filling in the Gaps name because I can't have 2 accounts. But if you want to watch me in real time, have a mental breakdown, then go ahead.
I'll put a link in the show notes for that.
Yeah, thanks a lot for hanging out. Buyer's Remorse is not doing as well on the subscriber count as Filling in the Gaps is doing. And I'm surprised by that because it's shorter and it's more, I don't know, it's more fun for us maybe. Maybe we just like it more than people like it.
That's very possible. I always thought this would be the easier to get into because it's shorter and each episode is very self-contained. We don't do as much outside of things like the Oceans bundle. We don't do a lot of referential back to other stuff that people wouldn't get. At least I don't think so. But it's growing. It's just slow. And I think a big part of it is just we just need to keep pushing forward.
2023, let's get to 100. That'll be the next milestone.
There we go. Sounds good. See you in 2023, and hopefully this has been a wonderful buyer's confirmation.
Ding.
Hello, and welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Justin.
That was not on purpose.
It felt like it was.
I'm Darren.